TV Now Internet Television, 500 channels of TV. www.trytvfree.biz. Saturday weather forecast, partly to mostly sunny today in the mid-30s and light northwest winds. Scattered clouds overnight, light breezes, overnight temperature in the mid-teens. Sunday should be partly to mostly sunny, about 20 to 25. And partly to mostly sunny, breezy on New Year's Day, temperatures around 20. Jonesboro, that's your KLEK 102.5 FM weather.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Rebecca Foster. China is denying reports that it's illicitly selling oil products to North Korea in breach of international sanctions. Turkey has signed a deal with Russia to purchase $2.5 billion worth of surface-to-air missiles. And the New York Fire Department believes a blaze that killed 12 people in an apartment building was started by a child playing with a stove.
It's 12:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good afternoon, everybody. I was going to say good morning. I'm used to doing this Monday through Friday, but good afternoon. This is your Saturday edition of Our Thoughts on the Matter, our special Kwanzaa edition, and I know the intro said community conversation, so blame it on the head, charge to my head and not my heart. But you're tuned into Our Thoughts on the Matter, Saturday edition, special Kwanzaa edition. I'm your host, Quabila Harden, and here in the studio I have Miss Amanda Donovan, who was originally on Our Thoughts on the Matter, and we have Mr. Jabari, McClellan.
No,
I
McClellan.
keep want to add the other C in there. So.
You're not the only one, trust me. You're not the only one.
All right, so Jabari McClellan and Mr. Darius Dunaway, and they are very well-known motivational speakers. They came highly recommended to do this show on today. Our topic is purpose, which is the fifth principle of Kwanzaa, and I just want to give you a brief introduction on what that means. And the actual name is Nia, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. A quote that I found that ties into that: if you have a purpose in which you can believe, there's no end to the amount of things you can accomplish. Marian Anderson. All right, so I want to get into giving you a brief introduction to Mr. Jabari. He is a Texas native that moved here to Jonesboro in 2008 to join the Arkansas State Redwoods football team after really understanding there was more to life than football. Jabari and his wife are active members in the business world, looking to inspire youth and adults to learn how to win in life. So thank you so much. Tell us a little bit more about yourself while I pull up Mr. Darius.
Yes, no, absolutely. So born and raised in Texas, and I'll tell you this, growing up in the sports world, I believe a lot what we believe is that, we can only make it in two things. Okay. Two things being maybe entertainment and sports. And so growing up, that was a lifestyle that I lived. Okay. That I had to make it to football, and I had to make it to the NFL level. And so as I started to grow and really start to understand what life was about, and encounters with different people were really important, people like my mentors, you just start to realize, although that is good to make it to that level, it is other ways you can inspire and still make a difference. Mm-hmm. And for me, when I got to the point of reaching my goal of making to D1 school, and I got to my senior year, it was a heavy calling on my heart. God had to put it there, because you can do a lot more outside of football than you can try to maintain and keep striving after something that I believed that at that time I was finished with, I was done. And so I had at the time I had my beautiful wife, who was my girlfriend, and now she's my wife. And just together, her and then a lot of people I had in my life, from mentors, good friends who just poured into me, from books, from listening to people that was really inspired, like Zig Ziglar being one of the guys that really just instilled a good gospel message into me, and also how to bring that into the workplace and inspiring true performance. So that is what really got me to where I'm at right now, and just going to continue to live in that sense of purpose as I move forward. And it's exciting. It's a fun challenge because it's a lot of things that come along with it, and I'll walk through that as we go. But just to give that quick backdrop of me, that's kind of me in a quick nutshell.
All right, I'm looking forward to hearing more of what you and Darius do, because I've heard a lot of great things about the talks that you all have given to a lot of youth around just the city of Jonesboro. So
yes,
not going to spill too much of that, but I want to give an introduction of Mr. Darius.
Hey.
Okay. Darius is from Monroe, Louisiana, son of Brenda Dunaway and younger brother to David Dunaway. You've been married for 4 years. Hey. So you're Queen Miss
Joanna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's from New Zealand. So.
Okay. Can you say that again for me?
Joanna. We call her your mama just for.
Does she get mad at you?
Yeah,
for telling her you mama jokes?
I literally started that in college, and it just pretty much traveled since then.
Has she got one up on you though?
Egghead.
Egghead.
She called me Egghead regardless of where I go. So that's pretty much, we throw that back and forth to each other.
Oh my God.
Throwing shade. Look at y'all.
But she goes by Yo for short, if that helps.
Yo, okay. All right, so you've been married to Miss Joanna for 4 years. Where you are expecting your first child in February 2018.
Yeah.
Is it a little boy or a little girl?
We're waiting to the end. We don't know.
Awesome.
Surprising.
That's if I get pregnant again. That's what I want to do. I've got 3 girls.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, it's not going to be hard for me. I'm 3rd generation.
Right.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
Well, we look
My
forward-
girls are 4th generation. We're all girls on one side of the family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so,
Alrighty.
I mean, we may have a boy, though, because in my family, we got a history of having boys first. So we'll see.
Another baby shack.
All right. And so Mr. Jabari is a former football player from Arkansas State University, go Red Wolves, from 2009 to 2013, where he was a part of the 5 championships. Yeah, 3 back-to-back Sun Belt champions and 2 back-to-back GoDaddy Bowl championships. He was a leader of the defense and received the Male Ambassador of the Year Award in 2013 for all athletics.
My man,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dunaway. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
He is currently works at FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Okay, you also working on Arkansas State University's campus with college. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
It's okay.
With college athletes sharing the gospel of Jesus. You also work with as a youth director of Fellowship Bible Church in Paraguay for teens. Wow, you stay
busy. Yep.
Try to.
Okay, so you all got a lot going on. So I'm sure in your walk every day, you have touched a lot of people's lives and helped them to understand and realize and walk in their purpose. So let's get into our first question. And I know you probably deal with this a lot. Can you define what purpose means to you as an individual?
Yes. Well, and I'll go first. My primary reason, I believe that for me specifically, God has gifted me with an ability to not only want to inspire and encourage people, but to be that example. And I think that is important. One of the things that we'll talk about is you have to be before you can do. You have to do before you can have. So you have to be the right person in order to have the things in life, in order to do the things. So my purpose is just continuing to focus in myself at being a better me and encouraging myself, regardless if that's on my spiritual side, whether that's in my marriage, whether that's mentally, whether that's physically, financially. It's a lot of areas that goes into ultimately my purpose, and setting standards for myself and not allowing myself to back down from them standards. And as I do that and becoming that right person, I believe you will start attracting the people who either want to team up with you, or 2 want to learn from you. Okay. So, and that in itself is my purpose, just being the example that I want to see. So that's one of the things that I live off of. It's kind of let's go in and answer some other questions. So I don't want to get too far in, but just being the example that I want to see. Yeah. That's my purpose.
Okay.
What purpose is more to me, you can't say purpose without tying into your identity. See,
Amen.
you never fully understand your purpose until you know more about who you are, and you never really can know who you are until you learn more about whose you are. Right?
Okay.
Come on.
So you have to do a little bit more digging to find out what your purpose
Soul
is
searching.
from the one who created you.
Come on.
And that's kind of how I found my purpose. So yeah, if I had to define my purpose, closer. If I had to define my purpose, I would say it's learning more from my Creator, who I am, so that I can learn more about how I'm called to live every day of my life. And through knowing more about who I was created to be through my Creator, I learn more about now how I'm called to live with what I'm doing with the youth and what I'm doing on ASU campus with SCA and some other ways to serve the teens and these young adults as well. So that'd be my view on purpose.
All right then. So how do you try to translate, once you figured out who you are, kind of what your purpose is, what you're put on this earth to do, what your calling is per se, how do you translate that to other people that you encounter?
Well, I'll jump on this one.
Go for it, brother. Go for it. He had it in the spirit.
How do I translate that to others I encounter? I try to break it down to a few different things. You got to identify yourself with. The ways you can walk in your purpose when I'm talking to someone else is having certain standards, to live by. Of course, after find out more about who created you and how you call to live, you live with a sense of integrity, right? You live with a sense of service. Okay, how can I serve someone else's need above my own, right? And a sense of excellence in everything that you do. So as I live with integrity in all that I do and all that I say, right? Even when no one is watching me or making me, right? I continue to learn more about my heart, right? And what I'm passionate about, right? As I continue to serve others above myself, I see the joy it may bring onto somebody else's life and also my life. Right, as I continue to learn how to serve others' needs above my own, I get a chance to see how my Creator served the needs of others above myself as well. So you just following you're following the patterns of your Creator, so that you can continue to identify yourself and walk in your own purpose. But I'll say integrity, service, and excellence. As you live in those three things, it helps you identify more of your purpose, and it kind of comes to you, in time as well. Go ahead, Jabari.
Definitely one of the biggest things we do pride ourselves on, and myself too, is definitely integrity. I believe that is the root cause of being the right type of person. Sometimes that goes from making the right decision in hard situations, and that is just one thing that when I talk to anybody, whether it is adults or youth, you have to understand that just because you want to do the right thing doesn't mean that things gonna lay down and be easy for you.
Right, because most of the time it's a battle to do the right thing.
Exactly. Like I'll have examples every day where somebody will come to me or they ask me a question, or I have to ask them a question, and the first response is no. And we get no all the time. Like, I'm in the sales world. That's pretty much where I've been at, and that's kind of what molded me at being who I am. So when you hear no, you instantly want to either respond in a positive way or a negative way. No, because somebody's telling you no to your purpose in reality, regardless if it's a small or big effect. So you have to, not one with integrity, but in excellence, want to know how to handle that situation, because you have to mold yourself and say, okay, how can I respond back to this and do and say something that's going to continue to represent who I am and my values that I want to represent, and also, and more importantly, who my Creator said I am, and not disrespect this other individual. So it's interesting, but the one thing that I always tag down to is my integrity and who I am, and therefore who I want someone else to perceive me to be, but I don't want to drop my value or my standards for who I am.
Right, for somebody
else. And then I want others to be able to do that as well.
Right. And your honor is everything.
Absolutely. Yes. My word means more than anything else.
And people, when you say that, people look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
The good Lord give me my name.
Right. Exactly.
The only thing you have, you start out in this world, is your name.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you don't hold up to that, people don't know where you stand.
Exactly.
They don't, it's one of those where, he didn't say, he didn't hold true to his word last time, but when you have somebody that's that is like us,
Right.
they can count on you. They know where you're coming from. They
Yes.
know where you stand.
Right.
And if you tell them something, they can take it to the bank and cash it.
Right.
So
Go ahead, Darius.
Let me add on. You see,
I seen you.
It's coming
The
out.
spirit was in him. I seen it grambling.
See, and that's something I want to try to make it simple as well. To encounter your purpose is sometimes we can make it more difficult as well. Man, what do you love to do? Like, man, what do you like? What do you enjoy doing? Right? What makes you happy as well? Right? Is what you're doing affecting someone else's life in a positive way? You know,
it's all the merrier.
You know, yeah, it's like
Twofer.
Exactly, and it's what you're doing needed in your community.
I'm glad you brought up community because I found another quote description: to set personal goals that build and are beneficial to the community and the greater good. So, because Kwanzaa focuses on family, community, and culture, let's tie in purpose to community. How can individuals dig deep, find their purpose, and then apply it to the community in which they live?
Well, first you have to get involved first. You never know where you're needed until you find out what the need is in the community. So you have to get involved with the community. You have to find those people who are doing different things in the community and say, hey, look, how can I get connected with you guys?
Right.
How can I serve? Right, serve for self. How can I serve the need of our community, of this community that we have? And then as you continue to serve, you see that need and you see what do I fit in this picture and making my community better. All right, see, not just fitting in, not just filling the spot, but actually having a purpose that's going to actually help make the community better.
Right.
Whether that's I don't know what it could be, going to visit schools, right?
Helping your neighbor who's an elder.
Helping your neighbors who's an elder. All kind of different things.
Schools, churches.
Right.
You find out somebody down the street is hungry. There is no reason why we couldn't put our best forth. And we know that person's hungry. Take them something to eat.
Exactly. You can't minimize someone's purpose as well. See, just because you're doing something different doesn't make someone else's purpose not. It's not the same as value as your purpose. Like, so if you do go and do a meal for someone, or if you do go to the school and just sit down and read a book to a kid who's struggling to read, or help them read, or if you do go and visit a children's home just to be a voice on it to encourage those guys, that's just as important as someone else doing something that seems to be bigger than what you're doing. Purpose is not measured in what others are doing compared to what you're doing. Purpose is measured in the impact you're making in people's lives.
That's right.
I write a blog post for Arkansas State University. It's basically centered around my online student experience, and there are other students who write as well. But through my writing, I guess you said, dug deeper into my purpose. I'm studying sociology, and I find myself explaining to people, what is sociology? Well, the study of society, the bottom line, but it's deeper than that. Long story short, I have found who I am and what purpose I serve in the community. I love serving people. I love connecting people to resources. I love to see people happy. I love to see people reach a higher level within themselves, within their family, within their lives, career, whatever it is. Just helping them reach a higher quality of life.
Right.
So,
well, and just to going back on the community, you have to, for one, know, kind of tie back what Darius was saying, you have to know, I believe, what your gift and what your skill is. Because as you move forward in the community, not only do you want others to be involved in understanding how we can help together, but you have to know what specifically you are good at. And so take this in a business perspective. Maybe I'm good with customer service more than the accounting side. So, okay, well, therefore, you need to focus on customer service. I need to get somebody else for accounting.
That's right.
And then I find out with
delegate it out.
Delegate, exactly. And what you do there, whether it's in business, whether it's in your community, all that is still a community, a group of individuals coming together and being good in a specific area, being a blessing to others.
Right.
Like, if you think about it, somebody else created this mic we're talking on.
That's right.
I didn't want to spend the time to figure out how to create this mic so I can talk on it, right? And same for these headphones.
Right.
So we are independent of others all the time, but we don't really notice it. Like, they say, hey, go to the store and get milk and bread. Okay, well, guess what? Let's start from the beginning. Bread came from where? Wheat. So somebody had to grow that. Somebody had to get that wheat, take it to somebody that had to process it. We can go through all those steps, and then you have to think about it. You have a vehicle that gets you from point A to point B. We have to depend on somebody to provide the gas, provide the vehicle. So I can go on and on with that example, but the reality is that we have to first understand that we are dependent on others,
right?
And if we don't,
others is dependent on us.
Exactly. And if you don't see that, if you don't understand that, then you're going to cloud your vision on why should I even go to community? Why should I need it? Because if your mind have been, oh, well, people have burned me or people have done this. Well, here's the reality. Regardless if that has been the case, you still need others.
That's right.
Like, regardless, like, you want to go lay on a pillow. Guess what? Somebody created that pillow.
Right.
Like, come on now. So
unless you grew up like me, where your great grandma had chickens.
Yeah, and then you just create it all.
You just create it all.
You can be tired at the end of the day.
I'm so glad. Man, I mean, I love knick-knacking, and I love doing all that depression air stuff. I love it. It's calming, but then again, at the end of the day, I'm so glad at Walmart they're $3.
Somebody else.
I don't have to pluck the duck. I don't have to pluck the goose. It's all done and over.
I'm gonna steal this from Jabari. Oh, actually not from Jabari, from Zig Ziglar, but Jabari shared this with me. I think this is a perfect quote to use in this time. Is Zig Ziglar said this: "You can have anything you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want."
That's
absolutely.
Right.
So
it can't be one-sided.
Exactly.
Nope,
understanding
cannot.
Their need for you and your need for them as well. You know, it helps all around. You know, if your purpose is helping not only yourself but those around you, then you know you have a great purpose.
Right.
See, some people choose the wrong purpose.
Right.
Right. I mean, think about it. You got some people in this community making some bad decisions that's costing people their life. Right, are costing people their families as well. You know, and that if your purpose is destroying people, then you need to reconsider what you're doing.
All right, so we're gonna put a pause on it right there. We're gonna take a quick break. I want to read one Facebook shout out from Mal LaSalle.
Mal,
is what you're doing needed in your community? This is so important. So that's the quote of the day. All right, so please stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with Mr. Jabari, Mr. Darius, and Miss Amanda. You're tuned into
Our thoughts on the matter.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Angie with your KLEK Learn Spanish Minute.
Solo hablo un poco de español. I only speak a little bit of Spanish.
Solo hablo un poco de español.
Perfecto. So now I'm gonna ask you, ¿hablas inglés? That's in the informal way. Do you speak English?
¿Hablas inglés?
Informal way. Now let's say, ¿habla inglés? That's the formal way. So if you're speaking to an elderly or your boss, you say, habla inglés. Do you speak English? I know it's the same in English for both, but remember in Spanish we have the informal and formal.
¿Habla inglés?
Perfecto.
I'm Angie, and that was your Learn Spanish Minute on KLEK 102.5 FM.
For almost 3 years, KLEK 102.5 FM has brought you the music you love on your radio, on your computer, and on your phone. Now, we want to bring the music to your party, wedding, or any event. KLEK now offers DJ services for all occasions with over 22 years of DJ and broadcast experience. We can also announce your event on KLEK. Need a photographer for that special occasion? We got that covered too. Package deals available. Book us for DJ, photography, or for both for your event today. Call 870-203-9951 or look us up on social media at KLEK-FM.
Karaoke and photo booths with a custom design of your event are also available. Attention members and guests.
This is your girl, Sweet Angel, coming to Legends Barbecue Smokehouse.
The New Year's Eve countdown is on Sunday, December 31st, starring Sweet Angel, the Redbone with a saxophone, and the SAS band. Legends Barbecue Smokehouse, 1025 West Johnson Avenue, Jonesboro, Arkansas. Doors open at 7, showtime 9 p.m. For more information, 870-530-3121.
Craighead County Clerk Cade Holliday hopes that you and your loved ones will enjoy the special gifts of this Christmas and holiday season. The gift of love, the gift of peace, the gift of happiness. Christmas and the holidays are not only a time for spreading a message of cheer and goodwill, but also a time to say thank you to the citizens of Craighead County. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you from Craighead County Clerk Cade Holliday.
Fullness of Joy Ministries presents their annual New Year's Eve celebration watch meeting December 31st. Service will start at 9:30 p.m. There are 1,000 seats available. The special guests will include recording artist Minister Courtney Richardson and Pastor Chris Williams. More information is available at the church at 870-930-9569. Also, on January 4th from 5:30 p.m. until 7:30 p.m., the Y Crew Ministry of Fullness of Joy will host their Soup Kitchen for the Needy. If anyone is in need of a hot meal or a warm place for a couple of days, this will be available. No one will be turned away. This will be at the Kelly Fellowship Hall at the church located at 2120 Thorn Avenue and is open to the public. More information on donations or volunteering is also available at Fullness of Joy Ministries at 501-712-2066 or 870-930-9569.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations and / our thoughts on the matter on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm going to get these people in check. They're having too good of a conversation. Come back on
having some fun.
Ain't nothing wrong with having a little bit of fun.
Nothing wrong with it.
So in the studio today we have Mr. Darius Dunaway and Mr. Jabari
McLennan. Hey, it is.
I keep saying McLellan. I am so
Oh, you're fine.
sorry.
You're fine. You're
McLennan.
fine.
Jamari.
Oh, Lord. I guess so. You'd be surprised how many nicknames I probably have out there. I can't even keep track of them.
Me neither. I'm one of those people too. They called me Amanda Jane, Manders, Manda, Mandy.
I literally like who I work with right now. They call me Jabari. So
Jabari.
So go with the intercom. I'm just like, Jabari, you got a call on Park 1. I'm like, okay. So yeah, so it don't matter.
Okay, it does matter, but okay. We're gonna get right back into our
At least they ain't calling you Jam Jam over the radio.
No.
All right, so our next question is, now that you realize your purpose, you have gone around speaking to different people, and you're going to run into those people that say, I don't have a purpose, I don't know what I'm here to do, I don't know. How do you encourage those that feel like they have no purpose?
Well, first, I believe everybody has to start with themselves.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because we've grew up in a community and just in a mindset that, we want to think of others. And I'm not saying that's not important. So hear that first. Okay. But in order for you to really serve others and to really do your best for others, you have to understand who you are and whose you are, as Darius said. And first, you need to hone back and just say, okay, what goals or what are you trying to accomplish? Is it for yourself or for someone else? Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times everyone just get confused. We're like, well, I was just trying to make, my mom or dad happy, or I was trying to make, my spouse happy. I was trying to make.
And we all can relate to that.
Yeah, we can. And that's what makes it so hard for people to say, I don't know my purpose.
Right.
It's because they have lived their life in years. This is a mindset you have to break. Right. And you've done for everyone else for so long. It's like, what about me?
I understand that.
Yeah,
I totally
who am I?
understand.
So, and you constantly, one of the things that I see, in a lot of the stories I read, moms usually go through this. Mm-hmm. They have their husbands, they have the kids, and they have everything, but then they be like,
what do I do on my 10-minute downtime?
Now everyone is gone and is out. It's like, okay,
Oh gosh!
Like, what am I doing now?
Wall. Yes, I hit a brick wall. And it's done.
Yeah, and so it's just like we never stop to think of like, okay, what are my gifts? What is it that I'm passionate about? It has nothing. Like, you can still love and serve others, but you start with yourself for a minute. It's a time in there where you need to hone in and understand who you are first, because then you can help others better.
I know, because I try to, help the community, and we've already discussed how we do this.
Right.
Okay. Well, what I encourage the children that I've talked to and I mentor to, and when they feel this way, you need to sit down for 10 minutes with a piece of paper. And what's coming to your mind, you just write it down.
Right.
And then when you start thinking, well, I have all this, what do I want to do? How do I want to move forward from this? Yes, I've been in a bad situation, but what can I take from that bad situation?
Well, and here's another thing. I don't mean to cut you off, but
yeah.
you remind me of just what she said, studying psychology. But, we all have different perspective on things.
Sociology.
Yeah, sociology. Thank you, Des. And so when we view the world differently. And we see things differently. You have to understand that that's a unique gift for you to have. And if you don't understand that that's a gift and you think that's a burden, then you won't. It's going to be hard for you to understand why you think this way or why you view things this way. And so that's why I go back to you have to understand how to craft yourself, how to build yourself up. That way, your perception on life. And you understand I'm thinking about this correctly. This is not wrong. This is because somebody, this is the person, that person didn't approve it. As long as God approves of what I'm saying, then hey, I'm moving in the right direction.
That's right.
Go for it.
So what it is it goes back to what I said earlier. Some people tend to minimize their purpose because they're looking at what everyone else is doing.
Yep, comparison.
In order to don't be discouraged by what you love to do. Right?
And some people is at different stages of life than you are.
That's very true. I mean, like if you're always looking at what everyone else is doing, you'll never find out what you need to be doing.
That's right.
You have to take time to stop, be silent. That's something I've been practicing: silence and solitude.
Amen. Yep.
Being able to be quiet, sit and listen and say, "Okay, God, what is it you want me to do?" Right? Who am I? Right? And regardless of what expectations people put on you, that's something that athletes, especially athletes, struggle with because everybody has so much they want you to do. Right? They want you to go to the NFL. They want you to go to the NBA.
They have a list for you to do.
Yes. They have your life. They have your life planned out better than you have it planned out.
Yep.
Right? And sometimes you can believe that lie. You can fall into that trap.
Right.
Because I've done it. Right. I thought, okay, I got to make my community.
I was that way until I had my left leg literally blew out.
Yeah.
So I'm an athlete too. So I understand.
I tore my left knee up and my right knee up actually.
Yeah, both of them's tore up, but the left one was gone. There's no more softball for Amanda Jane.
Let me go back to something that Darius hit on, this comparison.
Right.
We live in a world of social media.
Yes, that's the devil. I'm sorry.
And I'll tell you this: some of the worstest things, and it can also be a blessing.
Yes,
but that what we can do is we look at somebody else, maybe our same age and younger than us, and I'm like, oh well, this is what they're doing, and where am I at?
Or where's my flat screen TV?
Right. Yeah, where this, and then
but now your bills are paid and your kids are happy.
Exactly, and so regardless, like not to even mention if that's like not the truth of the matter in that picture or video or whatever,
right? Yeah.
But we get so fixated on, oh my gosh, look what they got on their Instagram feed. Or, look what they got on their. We're like,
meanwhile,
man,
mama,
yeah,
mama,
exactly. We're like, mama, I just pay for my last
like
bill. I
Friday
promise you I'm
here.
gonna get a job this week. The comparison game is crucial, and you can't find your purpose if you steady say, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, because I seen such and such do this, and they did it big, or they made a lot of money doing it. It's just like, no, what are you going to go through mentally, emotionally, and physically to get to where you want to get to, and regardless of what everybody else is doing or what they're not doing, you will still continue to move forward.
Right. What are you doing when you're not on social media?
Yep.
All right, what are you doing when nobody's watching you?
Yep.
That's the biggest question.
Character
base.
Your integrity. I mean, it's bigger. If you're doing something just to get a pat on the back, if you're doing something to be recognized or to be liked, then I mean you're missing the whole picture.
Boasting.
Yep. And that's hard. Don't get me wrong. Like we all want to be told good job for what we do, but the reality is sometimes like you have to start learning how to do that for yourself and understand that your father's right there saying good job, keep moving forward.
Right.
So that's a practice within itself.
See, that was hard for me. Was the boastful? What I grew up. There was no boastful. Right. You did not, this is what you're supposed to do. That you don't need a pat on the back because you did what you did, and And the same way with giving back to the community, we would give back and not nobody know it.
Right.
Yep.
Because that we were taught being boastful.
And I'm not trying to put Jabari on the spot here, but I'm gonna ask Jabari. I know he'll never forget this because I never forget it when he shared it with me. What is that one thing that stuck out to you that Robbie Fowler said to you?
God cannot love you no more, no less than He does right now.
Yeah.
And so
God cannot love you no more or no less than He does right now.
Mm-hmm.
What did that do for you when you heard that?
That changed my course.
Yeah. See, when you get a chance to stop worrying about everyone else's approval of you, or looking like someone else, or all those different. I mean, seriously, when you can stop caring about those things, right? And you realize, man, I'm loved regardless. I've already got the approval of the most important.
The most important loves me, and I love me.
Yeah, once you stop seeking approval horizontally and start receiving the approval that's already been given to us vertically, then we can continue to walk in our purpose.
Amen.
So I'm sorry, let me stop.
No,
you fine.
I mean, you're right on it because for so long I have hung out in the shadows, and I have lived my life according to, are people going to see this part of me of what I'm presenting versus the physical part of me?
Right.
Because I do suffer with the condition, and when I tell you I'm so subconscious, I've already set up a situation in my mind before I even walk through the door.
And every which way you can turn that situation too. I understand.
I've already defeated myself before I even started it, or interacted with anyone. So, but I will say this past year, 2017, has been a good year. Ups and downs, lefts and rights. When I turned 40, I had this mindset, when I turn 40, my life is just going to be bam.
Right.
But I will say there has been a lot of eye-opening moments, a lot of, wow, okay. I pushed myself beyond limits that I never thought I could. And so because of that, I was blessed to win Volunteer of the Year.
Wow.
And
That's
so
beautiful.
I'm like, now this is giving me the push that I need because people are recognizing the work that I'm doing. Because I'm not doing it for myself. I'm just the vessel that's doing the work. I don't do it for, Kwabila did this and Kwabila. I don't care about my name being on the top of whatever it is. I'm here to serve the community, serve the people.
I love it.
I'm glad you said I'm trying not to live my life according to what are they thinking. When people see me, are they just going to see this, or are they going to see the heart and what I'm presenting?
Right.
So,
yeah.
It's still a struggle.
No,
every day, but,
that's why. What's your saying?
What's your self-talk?
It's what you tell yourself every day when you wake up, when you look in the mirror.
Yep.
So I ain't gonna steal your.
No, baby. Hey, no, that's it. But you see me hashtag WYST. What's your self-talk?
What's your self-talk?
And I'll get into that in a minute. I'll stay fired up on that one.
I know.
Okay.
I ain't gonna steal your thunder, baby.
No, you good. You good.
Well, then you can tie it into this next question. Do you still have discouraging moments?
Absolutely.
And if so, how do you overcome? So I guess your self-talk would tie right into that.
See, discouraging moments definitely come sometimes, but it's excuse me. It's again. You get told so many lies that they begin to, sometimes you believe them to be truth.
Yep.
But if you know what truth is, you can encourage yourself with those truths. Like when someone says one thing about you, like, oh, you this, but you already know that the Father already said the opposite of that. Like, no, you're loved. You've already won. I've chosen you. Like you've been adopted to my family, right? So if someone says you're an outcast or you crazy, you can. Sometimes it could discourage you if you don't have those moments to sit down and remind yourselves of the good news of this great truth of the real truth. When you don't have when I'm finding myself not sitting down and having my times of silence and being quiet and getting away from everything and having my time of silence and solitude, I could get discouraged sometimes, thinking, man, and what do people think when they hear my name, right? Or am I doing enough? Or is what I'm doing okay? I know I could be doing something more. Like I didn't go to the NFL, so should I be making more money?
Honey, we all can have some more money.
Right? Yeah, I know. But I mean, those questions come, and sometimes it can discourage you.
Right.
But if you're not able to refocus yourself, right, refocus yourself by remembering, okay, man, I got a dad who loves me so much.
Yeah,
Man,
why am I on this journey?
Everything, so that I can enjoy what I'm doing right now. And I'm able to pick myself back up immediately. Then I look at my wife, and I get a chance to and see. She's from New Zealand. She's from Tonga, a different island, way out, 20 hours somewhere else. I can't tell you which way to go. I mean, it's out there.
I bet it was a culture
shock. It's that way, bro.
Very, very. But just to think that God made her to be my wife,
right?
Being way
miles
out there,
away.
Right?
I look and I'm thinking, who am I to have a pity party on myself when I got all this great, amazing things going well for me, especially my queen. That being number one. But I'm sorry, I ain't gonna.
Are you good? No. So those moments of discouragement for myself is why I have the question that I asked. It's what's your self-talk? Because it's been times that I know I did everything that was right, that represented integrity, that represented my hard work, and still it just didn't fall the way I wanted it to. Okay. And in the moment when I really identify, what's your self-talk, it was a helper with Mr. Zig Ziglar, who is somebody I never personally met, but I listened to in my sales world and even in my speaking world, because he had this exercise where you would simply say, go ahead and claim these qualities that you have. We all have qualities, and we have the seed, but we have to grow that seed. Whether those qualities is being punctual, being on time, or being respectful. It was just a list of things that he would say, hey, remind yourself of this. Plant this inside of you. Tell yourself you deserve to win, that you are endowed with the seeds of greatness. And when I started believing that more than whatever I was trying to believe in those discouraging moments,
that's good.
Then it started opening up to me, and I started realizing this is a mindset battle that I have to conquer before anything else.
I always tell myself, I got this.
Exactly.
Because even
you have to believe that before anybody else can.
I have to believe this. And, we're the Father.
Yeah.
He's with us 24/7, the footprints in the sand. You got this. All you got to do is take a second and tell yourself, it'll be okay. You've got this.
And you have to understand the opposite side of some of those discouragement. You can look and see, like, what are bad addictions that people maybe get tied to when they don't believe those good things. And you have to understand, like, the reason that person or whoever that is run to that form of addiction, regardless of whatever it is drinking, smoking, or whatever, you have to understand you're trying to numb or cope with something that maybe you need to grow in personally inside of you. You need to act more on your personal self-talk, and whether that's what God is telling you, because here's the reality is, you see this in scripture, is that God is greater than your heart. So it's going to be times that you need to be somebody who loves you much more and much better needs to remind you, look, I have you here for a bigger and better purpose than what what you're thinking about at this exact moment. Because we get stuck in a moment. We don't feel good about ourselves. It's holiday season. I ain't at the ideal weight I want to be. I'll tell you that. It's just like, come on now. It's like, but you know what? If I still got air in my lungs and I still can move forward, then guess what? You still can make the difference. You still make a change. If I got 5 minutes, 10 minutes that I can do what I need to do, well, then do it.
You
But
got 5-10 minutes.
you got 5-10 minutes. Guess what? Somebody else don't have that 5 or 10 minutes. Somebody else don't have that opportunity to sit up, walk, or do whatever you can do. And think about those exact people. I can't remember the guy's name, but he have no legs, no arms, and his story is powerful. He had the biggest part, and he have a kid, family, fully functioning, and for
whatever you set your mind to.
Exactly. And it's a story about Mr. Ziegler. He tells this story, and I listen to it all the time. And I cannot remember the name, but it was a certain sickness that this child had. I'll remember it later. But basically, every doctor that the parents took him to, they was just like, hey, you're going to have to keep this kid locked up. You're going to have to keep this kid away from other individuals. You're going to have to keep this kid, because pretty much the muscles and everything, how it's developed, he's not going to make it in life.
They say he won't walk, right?
They say he won't walk. He won't be able to function like a normal kid. He won't be able to do none of this. So he said the parents took him to the 30 doctors. 30 doctors, and what they kept telling them, no, ain't nothing you can do, ain't nothing you can do, ain't nothing you can do. But they heard about this one doctor,
right?
And they took they at the time, the doctor was so popular that his list has piled up, and it was like, well, if something canceled, we'll let you know when he become available. And so somebody backed out, and they got a chance to be able to go in there. And so he sat down with him, and he said, you know what? Your son won't be able to walk. Your son won't be able to count to 10, or have a normal life if
that's his mindset.
If you listen to the prophets of doom. So he already told him, listen, there's a way you can make it out of this. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna have to make sure your son don't see nobody else with this same condition. You're gonna have to lock him up. You're gonna have to hire a personal trainer. You're gonna have to make sure it's gonna be days, even months, when you're gonna see no progress. But I promise you,
it's a struggle.
But he said one day when his son, after all the training and physical exertion he has, his name was David Logic. That's coming back to me. His name was David Logic. He eventually was able to do a push-up when they said that he wasn't going to be able to do one.
Right. He did it out of spot.
And he do it. Yeah, so he was able to do that. And so now this guy who was supposed to be pretty much paralyzed to a wheelchair is living and functioning, living a regular life. All because in the beginning he didn't choose to listen to the prophets of doom saying you can't do this, you can't do that. Over 30 doctors said that you can't do this, but one doctor said you can if you don't listen to the prophet of doom. So then you wonder why I say what's your self-talk, because it's exactly what you tell yourself and what you act off of.
That's right.
It's two ways you can go. You can have a beautiful life or you can have a horrible life.
That's right.
What you tell yourself and what you act off of is going to be the results of that. It's an answer out there for both ways.
I want to throw this in real quick. I know we got to go on the break in a second, but
35 seconds.
Yes, I know. Listen, you have. I'll tell you this. Besides when I'm with my wife, the times I feel most encouraged is when I'm with my brother, Jabari. Right. Find someone else, right, like-minded like yourself, they want to encourage and lift you up and not take you in another direction, right? I feel most encouraged when I'm with my brother. I feel most alive in myself and my purpose as well when I'm with my brother as well. Find someone like that in your life. Find somebody that's going to push you, make you better.
And I bet you push him just as much as he pushes you.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm the oldest of 6 siblings, so, you know, that's push and take.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you. Yeah. Right. So it's a funny story with me and Derek. I know we off right now, right?
20 seconds.
15 seconds. So we'll save that story when we come back.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's a funny story.
When we come back from our break, please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these announcements. You're tuned in to Community Conversations, Saturday edition, KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
If you want to save money and help your kids eat wisely, pack their lunch. Although many school districts are taking steps to make school lunches healthier, most lunchrooms still remain full of bad choices. Sugary drinks, hot and cold foods filled with carbohydrates, and too many junk foods are a disaster for growing children. Your packed lunch can ensure your child has a balanced, healthful meal. A peanut butter sandwich on whole grain bread with a side of grapes, raisins, or other fruit, and a bottle of water is a great option. Lunch meats and prepackaged lunches are okay occasionally, but know that they're loaded with extra salt and nitrates. Keep it light, fresh, and wholesome. Your kids will be healthier, and you'll save money. I'm Alexis Comer for Black Health Now.
Black Health Now.
Black Health Now is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Black Health Now is made possible by CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated, counseling individuals and groups of all ages. 1-866-972-1277. 888 lscihelp.com. Starks Auto Plaza, your pre-owned superstore, is a longtime supporter of KLEK. 2829 Red Wolf Boulevard, Starks offers clean, reliable vehicles of all makes and models. Starks also offers no-hassle pricing, friendly service, financing options with approved credit. At Starks, you're always family, and our motto is, we never say no. 870-203-9980. StarksAutoPlaza.com.
Hey ladies, it's Nettie Jones, the girlfriend's therapist. I'm here with my girls, Elise Lyles and Brianna Hill, the Fab Squad.
Hey!
We're coming to Jonesboro, KLEK 102.5 FM. So tune in every Wednesday from 10 to 11 to Your Life with Nettie Jones. We're living it fabulously every day. You don't want to miss it.
Tell a friend.
There is no time more fitting to say thank you and to wish you a happy holiday season and a new year of health, happiness, and prosperity from Dr. Sharice Jones Branch.
KLEK 102.5 FM wants to be active in the community. If you or your organization is hosting a community service event, we would like to know about it and be a part of it. KLEK will promote your event on air, online, and on social media. KLEK personalities may also attend the event and provide music and or entertainment. Certain restrictions and availability may apply. If you or your organization would like to partner with KLEK to make the Jonesboro community a better place, call 870-277-1080 or email us at klek@klekfm.org. In order for a community announcement or church announcement to be aired on KLEK 102.5 FM, we ask that the announcement be sent at minimum 1 week in advance. Thank you for supporting KLEK 102.5 FM.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Welcome back to Community Conversations Saturday edition on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Kabila Hart, along with Miss Amanda Donovan, and our very special guests are Mr. Jabari McLennan.
There you go. Hey, come on.
All right.
Practice make perfect.
And Mr. Darius Dunaway. All right, so I want to read some of our Facebook comments that we have that came in over the break from Miss Tanita Boyd. Oh, please don't shoot me. Wathel, please don't shoot me, Miss Tanita. I've had to change my mind. Said already this morning. Thank y'all for blessing me with y'all today. God bless you all.
That's awesome. Bless you as well.
Ms. Helen Scott says mental strength is very important for total growth. It helps especially when dealing with self-doubt and social doubt. I like that word. Not arrogance, mental strength. The brain is the strongest muscle.
Amen.
Also give a shout out to Dr. Sharice Jones Branch for checking in. And Ms. Christy Mathis Conway says.
Oh, hey, Christy. Christy.
She says, Darius, he's such a great guy, truly a man of purpose. The Conways love this guy.
Well, I love you guys too.
So, thank you, everybody.
Helen, you need to call me when we get off the air. I've been trying to reach you, honey.
Okay, so we have, short time this last segment. So you all have touched on some of my last talking points when it comes to mindset in relation to purpose and, how do you get out of your own way? What are some things that can get in the way of you realizing and walking in your purpose? Now, one thing I want you to also tie this into, because Kwanzaa was built around the African American culture, because during that time, it was during the time that the Watts riots were going on. There was a lot of turmoil, upset, civil rights issues, a lot of things going on at the time, and so it was created to help the African American community find their purpose, find their connection to their community again, and find out who they are and rise up and rise above what was going on at that time. Right. Now, 2017, we still have a group of people, not just African Americans, a group of people that have been disenfranchised, people that have been discriminated against, pushed to the side, made to feel like they're less than whatever. They serve no purpose on this earth at all, even though they have contributed so much to wherever they live. Right. So, if you can tie in, how can you help people break that mindset and get out of that, I don't have anything to give. I've been told all my life or made to feel all my life like I'm nothing or whatever.
Yeah. So, the first thing that comes to mind is failure is an event, not a person. And we at times can think because we may have failed in a single event or some situation in our life, we tie that failure to us personally. I may have times where things didn't go according like I wanted them to go, but that doesn't mean I'm completely failed and I'm gonna lose in life, and now for the rest of my life I need to just be in that pity party. And so it's important first to really understand that, and two, put yourself around other individuals who understand that. Now also get away from those who don't believe that. And here's the thing is that so that I realize, and you have to move forward. Like right now, where we at as an African American community or a community in general, if that person don't believe what you're going for and don't want to give you the emotional, physical support that you need, get away from them. Because if everything you're saying to me, if it's not going to help me grow and encourage me to move forward at what I know I'm doing, I don't need you. I don't even have the time to start thinking about what you're saying, and I know it's negative and it have nothing to do with where I'm moving. So I'm gonna distance myself away from you. I love you.
Amigos, I love you.
Yeah, deuces.
But deuces.
I need to get away from you.
I don't need your negativity.
Right. No,
I can give you a speech to help with that.
Hey, look, I can love you. I'm gonna love you from a distance. Like seriously.
Right.
And
I'll keep up with you on Facebook, but until you change your negativity to positivity, I don't want to talk to you.
Hey, truth be told, I may need to unfollow you on Facebook. Just to be honest with you, but here's the thing: like anything that's associated with a person who is just in that poisonous mindset, you grab hold of that. Right. Like you have to understand it, and then you have to confirm the people that you love and want to help you grow. You have to help them understand. Like, listen, this is a new mentality that I know I have to embrace, and this is what I need to do moving forward. I just did that when me and Darius was coming this way. You know, with the Darius mindset and my mindset, I have much more of a business mindset, and Darius have that more serving, more passionate, and I do too, but mine just more in the business aspect. And he was telling me something, correcting me, like, hey, brother, well, before you start in to do it, I said, hold on, Darius, before you even start, so let me help you understand why I even think about making this decision. It's have to do with the time that's going to be allocated somewhere else. I need to put this in place, so therefore my time and energy can be allocated somewhere else. Yeah. And he understood. He was like, okay, I got you, brother. Appreciate you. So it's those situations that you're going to grow. And you got to understand, hey, this is where I'm at in life. This is where I'm at. Okay, now I know how to keep moving forward. And they may help him or may not, but also he knows where I stand. Exactly. And if those people around you don't want to accept where you stand and help you see you grow, I'm telling you, man, you need to get away from them. Like I'm so serious, and that's gonna be a big thing for me in 2018. Like brother,
I did a lot of that in 2016 and 2017. Adios, amigos.
Yeah, deuces.
I have give you enough time, enough of my energy. I've been over backwards, but you dragging me down like some cement boots.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Go for it, Darius.
Mr. Darius have his last 2 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try not to use the whole time, but I may end up getting close. No, but I agree with everything Jabari said 100%. I want to add this in as well. And I said this already, but I might get a little personal here, but when I felt in some of those ways that you explained, I felt those ways before growing up. People discouraged me and told me all kind of things. So I didn't grow up with a father in the house.
Me neither.
And I got deaf parents. My mom's deaf, dad deaf. I learned sign language at an early age. I grew up in the projects in Louisiana, so it was rough, right?
Right.
So what I had to do, what I heard was crazy. But what I had to do is I had to turn off what I was hearing from everybody else, right? But it made me angry for a long time. It wasn't until I started hearing more stories about, okay, man, this same thing I'm experiencing right now is it's a story in the Bible just about it. I heard the story of the prodigal son, and that story changed my life forever. Right, they gave me a joy unspeakable joy when I learned the kind of father I actually did have in heaven, right? The kind of father that was pursuing me and chasing me and loving me, right? Willing to drop everything and give me everything as well, regardless of what I've done or what I didn't do, right? It wasn't about what I did; it was about what He had already done on my behalf. See, you have to go. I encourage you today. Find time to sit down, open your Bible, go through some of these different stories. Prodigal son, the story of Job, all these different stories, and watch how God completely transformed those guys' lives, right? Watch what Jesus steps in. See, if you're not encouraging it, if you can't lift yourself up in that kind of way, you always fall prey to what everyone else says about you or says to you. Again, it's important. Find people around you that they love you and care about you and have your best interest at heart. Not what you can do for them, right? Not what they can get from you, right? But how they can be a blessing to you as well. Right. So I encourage you guys out there that's listening today, and that's in here as well. Find someone, right? Find someone that can lift you up. Find someone that can encourage you, that can push you, that can tell you no when you need to be told no.
That's right.
I'm not saying find a yes man. Find someone that can say, hey, bro, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard you say. Don't you ever do it.
You got to find somebody who has your back, just like you got yours, like you got their six. Have a blessed weekend and have a good week.
Thank you guys so much.
Tomorrow, pass the plate at ASU Pavilion, our Kwanzaa celebration.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or